Hey everybody, if you're watching this video, it means that we've completed our opening webinar for the day, and you have successfully navigated your way back into Basecamp HQ and the Day 2 module. Day 2 is all about student engagement. So on this page, what you're going to find is a little bit of an overview, a little bit of an outline of what we're going to be looking at today. Part of the reason I want to take a few minutes to look at this is because there is a lot of information in the Day 2 module. That does not mean that you have to touch everything. It doesn't mean that you have to read every article. It doesn't mean that you have to look at every video. What it means is you're going to be exploring a lot today. We know perfectly well that every instructor is different, that you have different student audiences depending on what you're teaching. Your content is different. So there is a lot of material in here in the hope that there's something for each of our 60 participants. It's not that any one participant will use everything, but rather that we have a breadth of materials in here hoping that there's something for each person. So if you take a look at the chart at the bottom of the overview page, your major deliverable for the week for your Basecamp badge that you'll be getting at the end of the week is that you're going to create a plan for student engagement for your course. Everything that we are doing today is to help you build that. We're going to help you look at an outline. We're going to help you say, when do I insert myself? When do I have the students engage with each other? We're going to give you lots of examples from other instructors as to approaches that you might take. So it's going to be a lot of exploratory time today. We had our opening webinar already. You guys are going to jump right in with your video chat with your base group and talk about your naughty problem. And then after that, today, a lot of it is you looking through materials and seeing if there's anything that resonates with you and would work for your classes. As we said in the webinar, and as I said just a moment ago, you're going to start your day today with your base group. You are going to get into a small group chat so that everybody kind of gets a feel for that and gets that experience. If you do not know how to do that, you can get together with your group by going into Canvas either through people and looking at groups or using your group's icon through the navigation on the left-hand side, or we have a link here back to the group water cooler that you used yesterday. So if you need that to sort of rendezvous with people so that you can discuss how you're going to set up your video chat, then that's all available for you here. If you are already in contact with everybody else, but you're not quite sure how to set up the video chat, there's a 2.5-minute walkthrough video here showing you how to get a WebEx or a Google Hangout set up by way of your work email, your Maricopa email. Okay. And once you have your group set up, then you guys will have a few prompts for discussion, including your naughty problem for today. But once you have completed that, once you've spent some time with your group, most of what's in front of you is either us sort of modeling how we like to connect with our students with things like visuals and videos and comics and things like that, or questions for you to ask yourself, resources, videos that we have created and the tools that we've used to create them. In case you're interested in those, then you'll be able to ask us about them. But a lot of the day is you reflecting on your class. What does your class structure look like? Based on the outline that you established on day one, where do you see opportunities for student engagement? And if you dig a little deeper, are there places where maybe you wouldn't have originally thought that there were opportunities, but having looked at ideas from other people, maybe you'll come up with some more activities or assignments or interactions that you can take advantage of in your courses. Okay, so we have here, go back and take a look at your course outline, take a first pass through, take a second pass through, and if you wish, there's a graphic organizer here that Jen has provided. Notice one of the nice things here is we're trying to set you up so it doesn't matter what modality you're teaching in. I know a lot of the focus this week has been on online, but here you can think about, well, what about student to instructor engagement in the face-to-face environment? And then what about student to instructor engagement in the online environment? Student to student, face-to-face, student to student in the online. So you can use this graphic organizer grid so that you have a plan no matter what modality you are teaching in. And then at the bottom here, I had created an interactive thing link of my course outline. So here's the course outline that I originally had established as my paper outline. And these ended up being my modules in my Canvas course. And if, again, exploratory, you want to go in here and look. In a thing link, anytime you see this little plus icon, that means that there's some kind of content embedded inside here. So every place that you see one of these, it means maybe I've got a video attached, I might have a document attached, I might have a link out to a YouTube video. Again, just an example of a way that you could have something that looks kind of flat, but in fact becomes interactive for your students. For those of you who find you are interested in graphic organizers, then we have some resources for you here. If graphic organizers aren't your thing, then you can move on to the next page. Again, in this module, all about different strategies for you. You can here, if you say, hey, that seems like an interesting idea, then you can read through it a little more deeply. But we do have lots of ideas. This first one is you getting to know your students, because students have been shown to stick with the class. You're going to find better retention when they feel a connection to you as the instructor. So getting to know them is always a good idea. So this page has different strategies for that. And then we have a whole series of videos that we have pulled for different types of, some are student to content, some are student to instructor, some are student to student interactions. So up to you how much exploration you want to do. Do you want to watch all of them? Do you just need to watch one or two? Another great resource that you could come back to another time if you want is this active learning cheat sheet. You could print out a copy for yourself and keep it on hand for whenever you like. It's not necessarily something that you have to focus a lot of time on today, but make a note of it and make sure that you know where to access it in case you want to use it again in the future. Jen provided this Patricia Cross Academy website, and she really recommends you'll go through here and maybe find one video that you like. There are 45 videos on this site that are going to give you practical applications that you can use to get your students engaged. And you don't have to watch every single one of them. That would take you hours and hours, but you could go through and find just one that you like, which leads us to our Day 3 activity, our main activity. Once you've gone through the material and have gotten some ideas, then this page is going to be a full class discussion board. And on the discussion board, you're going to post your idea for student engagement. Jen has provided for you a video on this page on what it is that you need to do and how to walk through the assignment. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time on that, but you'll be able to go through here and contribute to this class repository of ideas for student engagement. And then finally today, we'll have you come to the wrap up where we would really, really like to get your input from the day. So we have an embedded Google form here that's going to ask you just a few questions about today, what your reflections on the day were, and then that's going to give us feedback to improve the course for the future.